Thanks for joining me. My name is Wright, and I am the wig designer here at Stitch 224 Salon. And I wanted to show you a step-by-step process that I use to make lace frontal wigs. I actually take the frontal of a basic lace frontal and I sew it onto a wig base. And so I wanted to show you what I've done so far. It's on a basic canvas block, and I have sewn the lace frontal piece to a wig base. I'm using a light brown wig base because I'm going to do a wig which is pretty much like a brown blonde. You can see I've already sewn the front of the lace frontal to the wig base. I want to kind of go in really close so you can see the stitch work. I used an invisible stitch so you can't see any of the threads, which are really great because it'll camouflage really well when we go to add the wefted hair into the wig. You can't see any stitching or any threads. And I actually used a brown nylon thread, which helps to camouflage really well too. This is actually the thread that I used to stitch down the lace frontal to the wig base, so it blends really well. So we'll add the hair, the wefted hair, and kind of check back in to see the progress, but it's going to be pretty hot. Alright, so I'm going to show you the hair that we're going to use for the remainder of the wig. I'm going to use a wefted hair, and it's actually an old school hair that most people would totally disregard if they saw in the store nowadays. This is a Zori brown gold, and it's about 10 inches long. It's actually called CRW10. This is a throwback, but I love it to death. It's already blended. It has a really nice texture. This is going to give me a really full body roller set style with a lot of volume and a lot of texture, and it's going to have a lot of movement, which is going to be really great. We're going to cut it up and set it on rollers just to give a nice flow to the hair. Now, a lot of people think, who's using yaki hair anymore? Me. Love it to death. A really great, inexpensive way to turn a random piece of hair that you would probably kind of disregard when you saw in the beauty supply store into an amazing wig. This is going to be fabulous. Wait until you see the finished results. I have a lot of the wig finished. Well, majority of the wig is finished. I've sewn about 7 rows from the nape up, and I actually split the tracks to make the wig feel really light and comfortable for the client who is going to wear it. I blended the highlights really nicely, and it's going to flow really nicely. We're going to do a nice layer cut so it'll appear really full even though it'll be weightless on the client's head. I actually decided to do an invisible stitch and just continue it throughout the unit, so that way when the client runs her fingers through the unit or even opens the unit, there won't be any threads hanging at all, and it'll just give a really nice and neat appearance. So let me give you a look. See here. This is the 10 inches. When we cut this in layers, it'll be really nice. You can see it's really light. There's about 7 rows already sewn, and so when we bring it all together, this will blend really nicely. I'm thinking about adding some highlights just to gas it up a bit. But this is what we have so far. You can see it has a lot of nice movement already because I believe the splitting the tracks helps a lot, and then it feels really light, so you'll be able to feel when the wind blows through. It's not going to be heavy. It's going to be really comfortable. But at the same time, it's going to have a lot of body and a lot of movement. And it'll be a really nice full wig without all of the weight. We've made some really great progress with the unit. I've actually completed and sewn the wefts to the lace frontal, so I wanted to actually show you what the completed looks like. This is the back. You can see it blends very nicely, and we've sewn all the way to the top to meet the lace frontal here. So this is actually the last track. This is actually the last weft, and it's sewn to meet, and it blends really nicely. So then we take it back, it actually covers like so. To finish, before we go to the next step, which is the cut, I'm actually going to take a little bit of time and ventilate some highlights into the lace unit to just to blend it a little bit more, so that you see this area here is solid. So I want to actually add some more golden highlights to the lace frontal unit so that it blends with the rest of the wig. I'm going to actually just cut the hair from the weft and use a ventilator and just actually hand tie highlights into the front of the unit, just to give a little bit more of a custom blend. So we'll check back in a little bit. Alright, so these are the clothing options that I am planning on putting the two models in. The sequence top paired with this accordion, this pink accordion skirt with possibly a thick belt. I have the belt options as well too to kind of go along with that. And
ain't holding up